So I don't know if you've ever worked with somebody one-on-one in a mentoring or tutoring scenario.
Therapist.
Well, of course.
I mean.
Well, duh. In that case, you can therapize right at the camera there. So welcome to It's Probably You. I'm Paul, one of your co-hosts, and here is my other host, Jackie.
Hi. I've been a professional therapist for going on 5 years, and I have passed the necessary state exam for that, so I'm licensed professionally in Maryland, blah, 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 blah. I can do anything with my license, including sending you to the hospital against your will.
Awesome.
So...
Yeah, I'll try to keep my responses as sane as possible. This time, I'm going to steal somebody else's question. I routinely watch YouTubers. One of them is Grace, who does Daily Grace. She got the question, do friends with benefits ever work? And her response was a humorous yet succinct no. What I'd like to do is actually kind of dissect that question a little bit and give you a more sincere answer, just because I'm not as funny as Daily Grace is. Can friends with benefits ever work?
You know, it takes you being very much self-aware. I think with any type of relationship, you have to have developed a sort of insight into yourself, into what your needs are, what your expectations are, and basically what your boundaries are.
I tend to agree with everything that you said. I would actually take a step back, though, and look at the question itself. Can friends with benefits work? Human beings have penises and vaginas. Literally, they can work together. Physically, it can work. So that's not the point of your question. The question is, can it work on an extended period? Can it work without emotional repercussions? And I think that for any individual, a friends with benefits situation can work as well as any other type of relationship can work, assuming that it's right for them. So you can just as easily ask the question, can a marriage work? Yeah. Can friendship work?
Yeah.
Can friendship, when there's sexual intention that we don't act on, work?
You know, when it's worked in the past for me, I knew very distinctly, like me and this individual, we work this way. You know, we wouldn't be able to work in a relationship way. You know, we wanted to be able to get together, have fun, and have sex, and we worked really well that way. You know, we had fantastic sex.
If you use a friends with benefits scenario, because logistically that's all you can afford in your life, but you would pursue a different type of relationship if you had the time or resources or availability. If all of a sudden the logistics change for your friends with benefits situation, then you have to realize that you're gonna have to readdress what you want in that relationship.
Yeah.
You might stay there, but you might also want to become less friendly so that you can maintain the sexual aspect of things, or become more intimate and pursue more of an emotional connection.
Exactly, and it's reestablishing boundaries and being willing to talk about those boundaries and being willing to address these with that person.
There's always a danger when you start talking about the boundaries and parameters of a relationship that you're having with someone, that your mere conversation about the situation will frighten them into thinking something that's not true. That's a shame that it happens, but it's not your fault for bringing it up. It's their fault for sucking and not being an adult yet. That's shame. It's a shame for them that they can't have communication with whomever they're having sex with or dating about what they're doing. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't try that communication anyway.
That's true.
You will eventually find someone who says, "Oh, you want to talk about this? That's great, because it was on my mind as well." One of the worst things that you can do is if you go into a conversation expecting the other person to be lying to you, then
you're setting yourself up, really. I mean, there's no point in going and even having a conversation if you're going into it thinking that somebody's going to be lying. Jealousy is often not the core issue. It's a manifestation of a deeper need. If
you think that you're in a friends with benefits or casual sex scenario and you start feeling pangs of jealousy, those feelings might be telling you, hey, by the way, you actually want to be in more than a friends with benefits situation. I mean, reassess this. If you want to date somebody else, you tell me, so we stop doing this and you start doing them.
Yeah.
So that's something that you should kind of establish.
Yeah.
Probably not before you have sex the first time with your friends with benefits, because let's face it, you want to know that everything's going to work and be fun. Enjoy the sex first, know that you want more of it, and then once you know that you want more of it, start having a conversation about
what that relationship's going to look like.
What it's going to look like, exactly.
And getting the same terminology is also another big thing.
Yeah.
You know,
I personally view a distinction between fuck buddies and friends with benefits, but some people don't. Don't take for granted the fact that once you've established the definition of what you're doing, that just because it's defined as a more casual arrangement, that emotions aren't in play. One person definitely wants a friends with benefits or casual sex situation, and the other person actually wants more, but because they realize the person they like only wants FWBs, that's what they go along with.
And that's part of the...
That's dangerous.
That's the taking on more than you can handle.
Exactly, yes.
You know, that is a perfect example because, again, if your words and your emotions are incongruent, then you're setting yourself up for failure.
How do you get into a friends benefit situation safely and healthily? For me, if I'm going into an FWB situation, it's with an actual friend.
Yeah.
I'm going to approach that with someone that I actually like,
Yeah.
I can have conversations with, and it just happens to be the sort of person where I like all of those things, plus I'd really like to get inside of their vagina. That combination is what leads me to say, hey, friend.
Do you phrase it just like that
Can
too?
we-
By
I
the
usually
way,
don't.
can I get right into your vagina? That'd be
Well,
great.
I mean, once we've established things, I might actually say it that way because it's
Just jump
fun.
right in there. That'd be perfect.
Hey, vaginas are awesome, and I have no problem saying I'd like to get into one. So,
And I mean, you know, I think all of mine have happened very organically, in that you have that fun chemistry of like where you feel that something. I think you have to have that attraction.
I think most people have done some flirting with their friends.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know, for the most part, it's harmless and means nothing. But once in a while, I kind of like to see them naked too.
Yeah.
The most success I've had is with complete directness, honesty. Well,
Certain
yes.
personalities can certainly take it like, hey, let's just go fuck right now, and you know, are good to go.
When you're approaching a scenario where you think, this is my friend, I want to have sex with them, your best bet is to be just very honest. What I want to steer people away from is hoping for situations where people's inhibitions are lowered, and then just jumping on an opportunity because you think it's an opportunity.
Exactly.
Somebody might go along with it, and they might give you their full consent, but that's...
You might wake up the next morning going, what the hell?
Exactly. They won't be looking at the repercussions.
Yeah.
They won't be thinking about the things that'll happen afterwards. I'm trying to warn viewers not to pursue that, just because it'll seem like an easier option to get into friends with benefits than having a discussion.
Exactly.
Don't do that. Have the discussion. Be honest about it. Let's say that you're in a friends with benefits situation.
Okay.
You don't want it to ruin your friendship, but you want it to stop.
I mean, I think it comes into being very honest with that person up front and throughout the whole thing. I mean, as simple as a, hey, I'm starting to date someone, gotta cut the sex off, sorry.
And I think the fact that you can do that so simply is indicative of the validity of the actual friendship there.
Yeah.
So if you're actually friends with someone with whom you are having sex, then hopefully you actually want them to be happy.
Yeah.
You don't want to screw up their life just because you want to have sex. So if they want to change the dynamic because they want to start dating somebody else, then you should be happy for them. You should be like, that's awesome that you find somebody that you want to date. I will put my penis away for now, and we'll readdress this in the future if it comes up. Now, I've also been in certain situations where in an FWB scenario, one partner is fine with it not being monogamous, but doesn't want to know about the other scenarios.
Well, I mean, that's her boundaries. I think it's all about having your boundaries and knowing what you can and cannot handle.
Now, if you're in a friends with benefits situation and the person that you're fucking decides that they start falling for you, what do you do?
Again, it comes back to being very self-aware that, oh, I am starting to really feel something for this person. I really want something more. And I either need to end it because I know this is not where it's going to go, or I need to talk to them and see what their stance on it. Because maybe they're feeling the same thing and you just don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're like, nope, don't want it. Good. And then you need to end it.
The hardest part about these is that most of us fall into that situation because we really like having sex with this person. And
we don't want it to end.
And we don't want it to
How
end.
can I not make this end?
It's easy to lie to ourselves and say, well, it's not that I don't want this to end, it's that I really enjoy this dynamic, when in fact you just really like the sex. Just realize that the fact that you're there, the fact that you're in a scenario where you're getting to have sex with someone that you like, means that you can do it.
Oh yeah, I mean...
That is proof positive right there that you can make it happen. You will find another person.
Because, I mean, it takes two to have sex. Unless it's...
At least.
Exactly, at least two. And you're a part of that equation,
Yeah.
you know? So just because that one part is going to be with somebody else, you know, you can find somebody else to have that good of sex with.
What about a scenario wherein you have a friend with benefits and then you want to pursue a relationship, but keep the friend with benefits?
I do think it's possible that you can have multiple relationships at the same time and be responsible emotionally to all of them.
There are so many implications to having sex with someone that it's a moral imperative that you tell this person, hey, here's what's going on in my sex life. If you start telling them that they say, I don't care, don't tell me, then that's fine, respect their boundaries. But at the very least, you should offer it up. You should say, because we're having a sex life together, here's the rest of my sex life that you should know about.
Because and then that person then needs to make a choice on if that's okay, if that is okay for their boundaries in that relationship or not.
Yes, friends with benefits can work. It can work in a bunch of different situations. If you are honest and you're direct and you expect what you want and the other person wants the same thing, then absolutely friends with benefits can work. And if it doesn't work out, then you're probably not being honest about it. Yeah. It's probably you. Aha! I think it was pretty organic too.
Nice. I think it was very good.
Hey, I just met you. This is crazy. Be my FWB. Call me maybe.
Number. Fuck me maybe.
I like that.
That's your next business card here.
That would be an awesome business card. I just met you. This is crazy. Here's my number. Fuck me maybe. Yes, I'm definitely getting that business card.
With a little check yes or no box.
Yeah. No, that's a little too juvenile.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
You do? Yes, no? All right. Check box for yes and no.
Very obvious. I'm all about putting it out there and being obvious.
Oh, me too. I like that as well.